You know, as a boxing fan, we have a lot to complain about. Rightfully so. In a very bad relationship, tight relationship, you know. Boxing doesn't, but once in a while, it prizes us. It it surprises us. And the way it does that is a relationship we love because we really love the sport of boxing. If we didn't, we wouldn't bother still watching the shit. Like you really have to love boxing to still follow boxing. Boxing goes through pains to hide itself from the public, whether it's on premium TV, whether it's for the big fights pay-per-view, whether it's shitty promoting, the shit out yourself. But once in a while, it just surprises you. Once in a while, it does everything right for you. Nights, where you're reminded that's why I love the sport. I love you. Because sometimes it's easy to forget. Tonight, I go out, no crazy night, right? And I just said, I'm just going to watch some boxing. That's all I'm going to do. That's it. Nothing crazy. I got a busy day tomorrow. I got to wake up early, so I'm not going to stay up late tomorrow. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to put on Showtime. I paid for shit anyway. Go ahead and watch boxing. And I enjoyed watching boxing tonight. Adrien Broner versus Adrian Granados. Now, I didn't think much of the fight. If I'm honest, I wasn't anticipating the fight. I didn't make a prediction about the fight. I would be a liar if I sat here and I said, man, I've been so excited about this fight. If I'm brutally honest, I don't even think I watched any videos regarding this fight anywhere in the entire boxing community. Straight up. But I gave the fight a chance because I watched an Adrien Broner fight, and right, I know Adrian Granados brings it, so I knew it was going to be a good fight, and sure enough, not only it was calling it a good fight will do it a disservice. I think this was a great fight, right? And we could sit here, we can nitpick, and that's what we do. How I do it, right? Like, oh, they could have done this, they could have done that. The defense this, and why did they make these adjustments? Why that? Like at the end of the day, the fight is what it is. The fight happened. Happened was some fun shit to watch. I didn't score it. All right. I didn't sit down and score it. I can't sit here and say, well, I think so-and-so on this round, or I think Broner won round 4. I think Granados pulled out round 5. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. But what I will tell you is that I noticed what both guys are trying to do. Really going for the body. He got a little reckless, mainly due to fatigue late in the fight. Not that he's really known for his worldwide, world class, that is, defense or anything like that. But just the boxing basics, the fatigue, it just made him more, clocked by Broner with uppercuts, with some left hands. But witnessed was really going at it, and something that separates the sport of boxing to just about any other sport I could personally think of. Do I wish it was 12 rounds? Yes. I don't look for me to tell you the whole story why it was only 10 rounds. Although I don't look, there's some old school boxing purists that believe you go the full 12 only when it's an important title fight. And I'd be all for that if they actually did it that way, but they don't, right? Um, Broner is a former world champion. There's no reason, be a 12-round fight, right? But that's not here nor there. I just wanted to see more of the fight. I don't know what would have happened. Right? I think Granados was really hurt, so assuming he was going to finish it is a little bit of a stretch. But you never know, right? And seeing is believing in the sport of boxing. You can't just assume fight, and that's the story. That should be the story. Um, I look me personally. I don't care. Good for him, but if Broner wants to get his act together and he doesn't want to act up no more, that's his issue, not mine. I only watch boxing and watch the guys in the ring. That's all I personally care about, right? As long as he's putting on fights and fighting good fighters and fighting up their ranks and taking part in fights that I could find entertaining. As long as he's doing that, that's all I've ever cared about. To me, the story is not me personally. It's not about Adrien Broner getting his act together. It's not about him being serious now. To me, the story is all that matters to me is that in the ring, both these guys put on a great fight, and that's a level of toughness that you don't really see in a lot of sports. You just don't see that. Okay, there's sports where dudes just get touched and they're looking at refs, to get a flag thrown. So, this was a good fight, man, and call something a great fight when it's a great fight. I think many times, or whatever you want to call it, that's what I call it. A lot of classic fights, which were great fights or were exciting, but we don't romanticize modern boxing the way we should, the way our ancestors did, right? Boxing's not that old, but you know what I mean, right? Or the way our grandparents did, the way they used to romanticize boxing in the newspapers, and we don't do enough of that. Like we don't just talk about what a great fight this was, and that's what this was. It was a good fight. It was a great fight, and I think Granados, in my opinion, um, had the right game plan halfway through. Attack the body, slow down Broner, and if he could get rid of his speed advantage, then the fight can get tighter. Granados was actually landing the right hand when he was being patient. He got very impatient in the last few rounds, got a little too wild, and he paid the price for it. He probably just felt like the hourglass is running out. He really wanted to hurt Broner and knock him down or something, but it kind of backfired, I think. I think that's what cost him the fight late. Hey, I'm not going to sit here and just criticize the guy. He gave it his best, I believe. Okay, I think he gave it his best. As far as Broner, man, Broner doesn't get enough credit, and maybe it's because of his personality or the way he's acted before, whatever you want to say. As I mentioned earlier, right? I only care about what guys do in the ring. Look, even in his loss against, people have amnesia, okay? In his loss against Maidana, he made it a dogfight. It's not like people remember the knockdown where he fell against the ropes and the second knockdown where he kind of fell to a knee. They kind of pretend like that's all that happened in the fight. Now, don't get me wrong. Maidana, in my opinion, clearly won that fight. But will and Broner's heart, in the second half of that Maidana fight, people don't talk about that. And I think they should talk about that. In the fight against, Porter, I mean, everything was but lost. And he refused to give up. And he even knocked the guy down, okay? And I believe it was the last round, the 12th. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the 12th. So even in his losses, I mean, this guy, and that says something about someone, right? You don't reach this level of boxing if you're just inherently a quitter, right? Like, you don't come back from losses, right? If you're inherently a quitter, that's just not the way it works, right? But great fight. To tell you who won the fight, I think it could have gone either way. I felt, again, I'm going by a feeling, right, that it could have gone either way, but I lean towards Broner because I think out there in the last 2 rounds, especially. But if you think Granados won, I'm not going to argue with you, all right? And it's I could go back and score it and come back and say, well, look, I thought Granados won. I don't know, right? But if somebody has it a draw, I'm not going to argue with you either, right? A lot of close rounds, right? What can both guys do? Look, what I want to see a rematch, right? I mean, we got to look at the landscape, but sure, why not? I mean, look how many rematches we've seen just because the fight was exciting. So, well, why is this any different? Why not? Right? Let's do the fight. Fuck it. It's time. Let's see what happens. Right? We'll see. Allegedly, Broner says he hurt his right hand. It's and did he hurt it somehow or fracture something there? I don't know. All right, but I kind of saw him wincing a little bit when they were taking off the glove. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know. They're going to release medical reports or whatever. I have no idea. But punch and you hurt your hand. I mean, that's part of boxing, right? It's just not like, and that's the way of the wind, you know. It's the way the cookie crumbles. If your hand got hurt in the first round because you punched a dude in the face, I mean, oh well. What to say about tonight, man? It was fun, but I don't really have a whole lot to say other than great night of boxing, great main event, and I'm so disappointed with the as you could tell, right? No, look, man, this was a great night, right? I was going to make a joke about how I'm so disappointed with Al Heyman. Hey, I mean, this was a good night of boxing, So if you want to complain about the bad nights of boxing that you say Al Heyman brings to boxing, then you have to, yes, right? And by the way, I saw the promo, and I'm kind of look, man. Garcia versus Keith Thurman. I'm gonna drop a prediction on that fight. It's on CBS, and if you, as a boxing fan, yourself a boxing fan, okay, and you're mad and angry that Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia is on CBS, there is something wrong with you. I don't care how much you despise Al Heyman. Like, there's something wrong with you if you have a problem with that. I'm just throwing that out there. So I'm looking forward to that fight. I have several things I've kind of those press conferences. Angel Garcia, I've never liked him. He's getting out of hand, but so I have shit to say about him. But I really want to focus on the fighters here. So we'll see what happens. Right, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, CBS. And what I was going to say was, if you're a boxing fan, telling friends about that fight, where, come on, anybody go out CBS, come on, right? It's a free channel. Everybody gets that channel, right? If you're not telling friends about that fight, hey, make sure you check this fight out, man. It's on CBS. Boxing fan told 3 friends, that can make a big impact. So I think I'm not saying it's your duty to do so, but if you're not excited for that fight, I need to check your pulse because I don't think you have one. And if you're angry about the fight, you need to go see a doctor or a shrink because you need serious help. There's something seriously wrong with you. Okay, you got to do a video or go. Okay, go and praise Al Heyman. No. Just talk about the fight. That's it. Talk about the fight. When Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia are in the ring, ding ding, the bell rings. The fight, who's promoting the fight, all that doesn't matter. All right? Like who put the event together, all right, for tonight with Broner versus Granados, it doesn't matter who put it together. You saw what you saw in the ring. Dogfight. It was a war. Both these guys are going to be in bed tomorrow in a lot of pain. Okay? All right? But Granados gave you his blood, literally. So, right? Deep breath. Right? And I'm looking forward to that Danny Garcia versus Keith Thurman fight. Tonight was a great night for boxing. Peace.